G'day coppers. Today we're doing another microwave. This one is a LG IntelliWave and it's already missing the plate. That's what I like to see. So we'll make a start, get some tools out. Get rid of this cable. I am trying to speed up the videos a lot, so I'm thinking what I want to do is get it all to pieces first, get everything out that I want and get this out of the way, and then we start working on the little things rather than trying to do it all at once. So still I am trying to completely scrap things as best as I can. So we'll get into it anyway. Alright, that should be alright. Okay. Decent sized transformer in there. Just want to cut the, there we are, the capacitor first, get that clear and out of the way. There we go, that's disconnected. Just to minimise the risks of zapping. Cut some of these cables. Should probably allow you to see what I'm doing. And again, I'm just going to throw these aside and we can further process them once we get some room. Alright, got a little power board here, nice little copper coil on there. We've got our fan, which unfortunately has the capacitor screwed to it, but that's alright. So there's our capacitor at the bottom, and what we want is this copper coil. Another board on the front there, it's got a little transformer and such. Might need the screwdriver to get in to that one. Actually, we'll get this transformer. out of the way first. It's in the way. There we are. Decent transformer there. 230 volts. Oh, it's got some weight, that's for sure. Get this front plate out, and then that's pretty much scratched out. I've got to get the motor from underneath also. And I don't worry about these things, what I call the nuker, the bit that actually nukes your food. There's just too much risk involved in poisonous substances that I just don't want to deal with for the amount of the little that's in there realistically. So just leave that in there as is. So I've got a little plate here. Just looks like it's pressed on. See if we can split that open. Somehow. There we are. Bit of scrap metal. Throw them. And we'll get this off. Beautiful. And that's that one scrapped. So I'm just going to whack the case back on. This one, finish it off. There we are. Alright. So I just sit it from there and just fill all this cavity up with more scrap metal. Now we'll make a start on this one. Pretty much the same process. Get rid of this cord. Again, we'll put it all aside and process it later on. Quite a bit bigger this one. Oops. There we are. Alright, we'll start cutting some cords. Start with the capacitor. Just get that within safety. Those I can just throw straight into wire, already done. And I should have mentioned on my previous video, the recap video, but I have organised my wires from low grade to mid grade. So that makes things a bit easier when taking them in. As I did first have the idea of stripping all the thick wires myself, which some I will. I've got a jump lead in my mid grade, which should probably actually be maybe a high grade, because it's definitely over 50% copper, that's for sure. And I'd just prefer to strip that myself for the copper inside. Okay, so that's the most of the wiring done. We could, I suppose, start with the fan. Get this board out first. Another one of those little power boards. Screwdriver for this one. Okay, that's a bit of a pain. Get this fan out anyway. Okay, so top pushes down, out, and up. Beautiful. Another nice wad of copper there. Sort that out soon. Capacitor's down at the bottom there, excellent. We don't want to deal with that. Just a little fuse, I'll throw that straight to scrap steel. Won't worry about it. Get our transformer. Oh, this one's quite a bit more heavy, that's for sure. But we'll crack into these later to see if they're copper ones or whether they're just copper and aluminum. Is there another, or there's a couple of screws on this that are going to be quite difficult to get. That's okay, we just break it. Excellent. And that's about it, besides the motor on the bottom. Hope we're going okay view-wise, but probably not, unfortunately. Go, beautiful. We'll slip the cover back on this one. Okay. All right. There we are. number 2 done. Alright, so we'll start off with the easier things. Just make sure we're in a good view. And there we are. So get this wire off. So that will only be low grade. It's actually aluminum instead of copper. Well, it's silver looking anyway, so. Oh, okay, we took the board with it, that's alright. That can go straight to transformers. Sometimes these can have very weak board, that's for sure. Sometimes these can have a little copper coil in them. Yep, there's our little copper coil at the back there. And I believe these connectors here are brass, and some of them actually have a silver connector to them. Let's try to get this copper coil out. So this is the obviously the tedious bit, where it comes down to all the cracking into everything, making a mess, that sort of stuff. There we are. You'll see, whack some safeties on and try to crack this open. There we are, we're getting somewhere. Alright, that'll be good enough. We'll just pull all the copper off it. Not bad amount. Still a bit more, just ended up breaking off. Just going to try cut this end off. It's giving me a bit of hassle. Maybe I'll get that out of the way at least. There we go. There's just a little cap on the ends that it kept getting caught on. Alright. Very messy, this one. Sometimes you can get ones that almost all just pulls off straight away, but this one's being a bit of a pain. get a silver or crystal I should say. Not too much else on this board, no MLCCs or any of that. It's got a speaker on there, but either way, all of my boards are low grade because I've pretty much scrapped everything that I want from them. So another one of those switch relay type things. Again, we'll have to cut the little cap off that's in there. Oh god dang. Might be the way to go. Let's get this bit of plastic out of it. There we are. There we go. Got the rest of it. That can just go to scrap steel. A few other bits of steel and even a bit of copper on there, but that's okay. That can just go as plastic waste. Make a start on this other power board. Might be somewhat easier just to cut it from where it's connected. Go. And these plastic casing ones are a bit of a pain, just because the plastic holds it together a lot easier than just that's a sealed one. Yeah, we can still get away with low grade. Another switch there, or I'm not too sure. That's just my best guess, is that they're a switch. Yeah, we got the board with it again, but that'll be okay. Nothing spectacular on this board. Low grade. There we go, just break the plastic casing. Bit of brass and stuff. Plastic there. We might be able to retrieve these bits of brass. Yep. By the looks of it, I think it's a copper coated brass, so I'll have to do some research on that and figure that out properly, just to make sure. And we'll try to crack this open. sacrifice a little bit of copper just to get the cap off it, and it makes it so much easier to just get it all off. And then here we go. Nice little wad of copper there. That I think is just another a sealed one. Hard to tell, but that'll be okay. You can see what I mean about the plastic ones. If that was just purely ferrite, it would have easily caved by now, but no. Come on. And it's got a plastic support in the center of it as well, so it makes it a lot more difficult to crush. There we go. And we should be able to start unwinding this. So that'll go as burnt copper, as it's got a lacquer on it that makes it that dark colour. Usually these are a lot easier, but these plastic case ones are definitely a lot more difficult. You have to unwind them rather than just pull them apart. There you go. Oops. Beautiful. That can go to scrap steel. Process these fans, or motors I should say. Those cords can just go straight to low grade, and we're left with the motor. Oops. That's transformers. Same with this one. We can leave the plug on low grade. Oops. And get rid of the two motors. Where are we? Cut the plug off, medium grade. See if we can get old Jim off here. Rubbish. Another medium grade. And just pull that out actually. So I think, yeah, that'd be medium grade as well. It's about 40% copper or so. Not sure by weight. By weight it's probably about 60% copper, but just from what I can see it's about half-half, so all of that can just go there, that's alright. All mid-grade. Get these cords out, plugs, I should say, sorry. Sometimes you do get lucky and you pull the remaining copper out of there, but a lot of the times it will break on you. So that's a little bit extra clean copper. And I do like to tidy it as best I can, get all the little bits of plastic and stuff out, and cut off that end that I did cut off, just to keep my my stock as pure as possible. Okay, so these ones are the hard ones. We may as well just snap them. Okay. They're difficult to snap also. Might just check if these are brass on the inside, so that's okay. Brass. Alright, that one was a bit of a pain, but we got it, and with the copper, so just cut off the end where the copper and brass meet, and I just throw them to scrap steel. Oh god. Okay, bit more copper. Gonna have to get some new side cutters. These are getting on a bit, keep losing the handles, and they're very, very blunt. Which is my fault because I used to use them to cut these off, so but I will have to retire these pair, I think, and get a new pair. They do still do the job, but really does do a number on the old fingers, that's for sure. And looks like it's also been arced out. I don't think that was from me, but I do have people help me from time to time. So, not sure how that's come about. And that's the last thing that'll happen, is that I'll get told if something of mine gets damaged, but that's alright. I had in mind to get a new pair, so no harm. A few more wires and stuff. Plugs I just throw to scrap steel and make sure all the plugs are off the cables before I throw them into the thingy, except for low grade. Nice thick one there. Alright, so all I'm going to get off this is just the copper coil in there. See if this one plays a bit more nice. There we go. Just broke right in half, so that's alright. I have no shame in admitting if I've screwed up or broken something or anything like that, but it just seems a lot of times I come back to my tools and stuff that are just damaged and I don't get told about it. So that's the annoying part of it. I really don't care if it gets damaged, but just let me know about it, simple. So I can either start thinking about getting a new pair quicker than I had anticipated, or whether they just get thrown out and get a new pair then and there. But I'm just ranting a little bit. So that's clean copper we're getting off this one, which is good. Means a lot less impurities to have to get out in the melting process. And if you've oops, we must be getting low on battery. The torch has just gone off on the camera. So I'll try and finish this up quickly. Simple. Alright, so I think, not too sure with these whether they could go as a motor after I pull the copper out. I highly doubt it, but anyway, we'll knock this bit of copper out. That wasn't too secured in. Nearly got it, but just one side a little bit stubborn. There we go. Not sure about that, whether that could go as a motor or not. But now we'll just scrap steel. We'll find out. That could go as scrap steel with that capacitor. Now where's our little bit there? So we'll try to do one of these and then get one of those transformers processed just before the video runs out. There we go. Getting a little bit hooked on the ends there, but come on. There we go. Nice wad of copper. Probably would have helped to turn this on, get a bit more visuals, but that's okay. That's a decent amount there. Beautiful. Alright. Oh. So, to check whether these are copper or aluminum. This one is unfortunately aluminum. However, this top one should always be copper, which no, I believe that's aluminum as well, or aluminium. That one I'm going to throw straight to transformers, not going to worry about it. Whoops. And we'll have a look at this one. That's aluminum on the bottom, unfortunately. However, it does have a copper top one, so that's alright. At least it's not a complete failure. Excuse me. So we'll get this in the vise. Get some visual. There we are. Chisel, which we do, beautiful. So I just get a chisel and smack across the seam. Might get the big hammer for this one. That might be enough. We'll see how we go. Oops. It is coming apart, but could do with a little bit more. There we are. That seems to be a bit more free. Excellent, it is coming apart, one side. There we go. Scrap steel for that. See if we can get this aluminum one out. Or aluminium. For those yelling at their screens. Okay, so from my understanding it is a copper coated aluminum. Well, just, yeah, it's pretty clear there, but yep, that's definitely aluminum, not much weight to that either, so not really worth it. I'll sit it aside and see whether it's worth melting for the aluminum, because I will be melting aluminium. So they're just steel plates separating the two coils. I may have to flip this and try and just smack it out, I think. Hopefully we're still recording, yep. That can just go mid-grade, that wire. There we go. Scrap metal. And this is the copper that we were after. It is very dirty, covered in glue and sticky tape, but I will throw it into my dirty copper collection to be processed with the impurities on there. I'll have to use a lot of borax and stuff like that to remove as many impurities as possible, but it's just not going to be as clean as the pure copper, so that's why I'm separating them. Almost like where I used to work, more tape than copper. No further comment on that. Alright, so aside from a big mess, we did get quite a substantial amount of copper there. Still a bit of tape and glue and that sort of crap on there, but that will burn away. But again, I do want to minimise of burning stuff that I don't want to be burning, so just going to do a quick weigh up on this, see what we did get out of it. So that's 423 grams. That's not a bad amount. And I've still got the other motor there. I'll do that off camera though. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one.